In 2004, I launched my very own bus company. I was about 25 at the time, and I made 114,000 that year. I've owned 14 buses, and they cost me a lot less than what most people think. How's that for getting to the point? Welcome to class, everybody. I am the one and only B Miles, and I am so excited that you guys are here with me today. And I want to celebrate you for taking this next step on your journey towards deciding on whether or not owning your own bus would be a good fit for you. And I have a lot of really cool stuff to share with you today. And yes, we are 305 today. We are going to dive straight in. Are you ready? Listen, before I continue, when I was a kid, there was a bus driver named Bridget, drove bus 305. And boy, she could drive that bus. She get right to the point. And that's how we're going to do it in this class today. All right, we 305. I started my career in transportation in the late 90s, 1998. I was what they call driver of the millennium. I was a sight for sore eyes. Driving the bus was my childhood dream, okay? So when I hired on with my company here in town, yeah, I was the dude that polished the bus by hand every year. I polished my friends' buses. I would put the chrome caps and lugs on the wheels. Any spots on the black paint, like on the black bumper that I didn't like, I'd paint that over again. Wash my windows every day. I was a sight for sore eyes, right? Then I went on from there to work at Metro, at LA Metro, which was an advanced driving experience. I learned how to handle that bus. I learned how to deal with people, choose my battles, and it taught me, it gave me a backbone, which is what I needed for my next season, which was when I started my own bus company in 2004. And in 2003, it really started out in 2003 when I thought, you know what, I think it would be fun to own my own bus. Because up until this point, I would just go around detailing people's buses, and I was like really passionate about the buses. And we had here in California, we have these buses called Crowns. And if you're not familiar with me or any of my channels, oh, we love our Crowns. They were so much fun to drive. My God, they were 5-speed stick shifts, automatics, 10-speed stick shifts. Yes, just like in the semi-tractor trailers, same gearbox. So a lot of us Crown drivers, we still have our zero restriction because we drove Crowns. So I can drive semis too. I just can't pull a trailer. They were fun to drive. They were so much fun. And so I just, thought, I think it'd be fun to own my own bus. And I don't know, maybe I'd have to run it, I have to like buy fuel and insurance. Maybe I could run it on some trips, right? Like on my off days, because I was still a Metro operator, right? And I says, oh yeah, kind of like running a business. And I laughed out loud at this because me running a business I thought would be comical. But I believed I could do it. So one of the first things that I did, I went to something called the Small Business Administration. Here in Glendale, they have one. It's called the SCORE office, SCORE. And the SCORE office has workshops, seminars, and talks on business planning and how to do like basic accounting and how to set up your company. They do talk about grants and loan funding and things of that nature too. I just never really qualified for those things. So I bypassed that. I did meet with one of their mentors at one time. He was another gentleman in business, but he wasn't really savvy with transportation, and transportation kind of a unique industry. So it wasn't a really good fit for me, but I just continued to do the work. Nevertheless, and regardless, I continued doing the work. Okay. As I'm working away at this, the next thing I did was start telling people what I was doing. And this thing, I want to tell you guys, be mindful. Try not to go to the hardware store for milk. This is when you're going to people that, you just want to go to people that are going to support you. They're going to support your vision. They're going to stand with you in your journey and move forward like that. A lot of times people, we say they don't support us, they're unsupportive, etc. But it's because your vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. So sometimes you have to kind of move in silence, which is what I kind of started doing. So I would I was still a bus operator at Metro, and I worked what they call trippers. So during the week, I'd have 3 trippers, and then on Saturday and Sunday, I would work like 10 hours. So that means my schedule would start at 5 in the morning, and I'd be done by 9 a.m. in the morning. And I had the whole day to myself. So when I get back to the yard at Metro, the very first thing I do is get out of that bus operator uniform and put on a suit. This is a little hack I have for you. Putting on a suit caused everybody to act right, including myself. Okay? Putting on a suit put me in the mindset of business. I'm going to be handling business. And I went out into my day and I handle business. Whatever I do, wherever I go, I handle business. And every day when I get off work, I will go put on a suit. And I will go out into my day with that suit on, right? And I would do one thing and another, just look up something here, look up something here. I think I took out a personal loan with the credit union because I found a website where I could shop for buses, right? So I did that. And one day, the phone rang. This is a little lesson for y'all. Are you ready? When I say the phone rang, watch this. I'm moving in silence, right? I'm not really saying anything. I'm going to the Small Business Administration. I'm looking up notes, right? The phone rang one day, and a colleague had called a guy that I worked with. I barely remember, dude. I really don't. I vaguely remember having conversations with him. I certainly don't remember giving him my phone number. He had never called before. And so when he called, it was like, yeah, who is this guy? Yeah. And then he told me, I remember that you like crowns, you like buses like I like buses. And there's this opportunity coming up. They need this, there's a school that they need a home to school service, school bus service, Monday through Friday. They want 4 buses. And I was thinking about, this is him telling me on the phone, I was thinking about buying my own crown and putting it on this route. And I was thinking maybe you might be interested in doing the same thing. Now, the part that I want y'all to hear is this. I had not been talking to anybody about what I was doing. That's why I say one day the phone rang. So the lesson is when the phone rings, answer it. Okay? When somebody knocks on the door, answer it. It's a good protocol in business in general that we answer the phone and answer the door. Okay? A lot of times, whatever your faith, a lot of times we have a tendency to pray for something. We're looking for God to make some changes or do some changes in our life. And when the phone rings, we say, I don't know who this is. You know who this is calling? I don't recognize this person. Somebody knock on, I'm not answering that. Somebody knock on the door. I don't know who this is. Somebody, you expecting somebody? I'm not answering the door. Answer the phone and answer the door. Okay. So he told me about this opportunity. All right. And he says, all right, look, be the meeting. They're going to have a meeting on Thursday and they're going to explain everything to us. Right. So it was like a Tuesday or something. Right. And so Thursday shows up and the meeting is at 7 and at 5 o'clock I'm going, oh, I don't know. I don't think I feel like going to this meeting today. But I get up and I go to the meeting. Got another lesson for you. Watch this. Affirmations plus actions equals miracles. Don't matter how you feel, remember that. Affirmations plus actions equals miracles. So I got up off my butt and went down to the meeting all the way in Inglewood. I get there and our former employer lays everything out for us. Got it. I had a little side job driving a school bus in Inglewood, right? So he lays everything out to us, Monday through Friday, how much is the route's going to pay, what we're going to, expect to do. And all that, he lays it all out on the table for us. And when he gets finished, he says, are you guys, what do you think? Are you on board? You want to do this? You want to take this on or no? And my colleague is like, yeah, I'm in. Let's go. I'm ready to go. But for me, he says, what about you, Brian? You ready? And I said, actually, no, not quite. I really don't have all of my funds together. And as I'm talking, explaining to him, I think it may take me a little time. He says, well, how short are you? And I said, oh, I'm about $8,000 short. The man slid his desk drawer open, pulled his checkbook out, and scribbled out a check for $8,000 right there on the spot and handed it to me. On the corner of his desk, he had a little stack of memo notes. I want to say like the size of my hand. They're about this big. And on the memo note, he wrote out a payment arrangement. He signed it. I signed it. He made a copy, and Shoebox was born. Just like that. Another little lesson for all of you agency drivers. If you're driving for agencies, big companies, a lot of times the bigger company drivers and agencies have a tendency to look down their nose at small businesses and mom and pop companies. Listen, those are the people that will advocate for you. Those are the ones that will have your back. The agency don't care. But the small business and the mom and pop companies, they have the ability to help you in leaps and bounds. And this man believed in me. Ugh, I said I wasn't going to get emotional. But you share your vision with people and they don't understand because it wasn't given to them, right? So he knew my work ethic and he believed in me enough to do that. So he is the one who put me in the game. This type of investor, by the way, is called an angel investor. Okay, that's somebody that you don't have to jump through a whole lot of hoops to get, get some assistance from them. They just believe in you, and they're gonna, they're gonna loan you some money, something like that. It's an angel investor. Okay, so fix my face. Let's talk buses. My first bus 007, was a 1987 Crown Super Coach 5-speed Detroit. I bought this bus from Laidlaw for $5,000. It was, one of the newer, at that time, a lot of people were running 78 Crowns. It was a newer bus. 87 would be a newer Crown, right? Very first thing I did is ruin the bus, okay? Yep, very first thing I did. But even I ruined the engine because I ran it hot all the way to Inglewood. Shouldn't have done that. I was able to run it for another year. It smoked like the space shuttle, but I was able to run it. And after that, I decided to put a new engine in it. Okay. It was still decent enough for me to do that. Business went well. So within 6 months, I bought my second bus 006. 006 was what we call a Crown Automatic. It was a 38-foot, 84-passenger Crown Automatic. I bought, let's see, 006. I think I offered the man $1,200 for it. It was another Laidlaw bus from the same yard, and he sold it to me for $1,800. So, these buses don't always cost what people think. $1,800. Yes, $1,800. The thing about 006 though is it was parted out. So when we talk about a bus that's parted out, that's when the mechanics start pulling parts off of a bus that's out of service, so they could put those buses on a bus that's in service and keep those buses going. So 006 had been parted out. In my eyes, it wasn't severely parted out. It was missing an emergency exit. Oh, the latch for the front door, a driver's seat, several windows, seat covers, windshield, headlights, light covers. Underneath, it was missing shocks and shackles. It was missing a lot of stuff. It was due for new tires. But I recognized that this is something that I could get for a discounted price, and I could put it back together. And I won't tell you how we did that, but in a short time, 006 came back together, and it was back on the road with me, with Shoebox, okay? I had hired one of my best friends to drive. He drove that bus 5-6 days a week, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. And I drove 007 on the side. After a while, I got tired of smoky Crowns because Crowns were smoky buses anyways. It was smoky in general because the fuel was a lot different then. And I bought bus 005, which was a 1990 All-American Bluebird. 84 passenger as well. 005, first of all, I want to just say the 1990 Bluebirds, those were really good buses. They ran good. They had good power. Had Allison 647s in them. They were nice and smooth. I had very little trouble out of them. They were very the Crown. If the Crown is the best bus built, then the next best bus would be the Bluebird. Okay, so 005 was an all-American Bluebird. Bought it for $5,000 from my former employer. Again, I was connected with him, and he would give us, he would give me trips during the week around the route. The route paid, well, I'll talk about that in just a second. 004, I bought 004 at a Laidlaw auction. They had this massive auction at Laidlaw. 004 was another 1990 Bluebird, all American, and I paid $1,800 for 004. So you get the idea. I kind of went about things that way. As far as how much money we made, on the day to day for the route, the route paid $197.91, which we still laugh at today. From an employee mindset, it was like, woohoo, at that time, all right, we're making some money. But we found out that the former employer was actually making $400 a day on each bus, and he would cut us $197 a day. See there? I'm not complaining because we still won. We're still winning, right? We would do that Monday through Friday, and maybe 3 or 4 days out of the week, we get a field trip, which would be, in between the route, or what I call Friday Night Lights, which is athletics after school. And either of those could pay something like $380 or maybe $400 sometimes for the after school run. And even somebody like me, I would put the bus on a party bus, after school, after that, for USC or UCLA or something like that. And the bus don't get back to the yard till like 2 a.m. I'll send somebody out to do it. Okay. And so it wouldn't be unusual for the bus to make something like $1,500 in a day's time, right? During the busy seasons, this would be the busy seasons. That's how much the bus would bring in. And so over the years, I bought and sold buses because I love buses. I have this bus fetish. Even though you hear me say I've owned all these buses, I'm not an advocate for that. I'm actually more an advocate of somebody, you just maxing out what you have. So I know several single moms out there who started with their one bus and they maxed it out. You could see them everywhere. They were raking in money. They had solid accounts. I'm still in touch with several of them. They were meanwhile, they had 4 or 5 kids at home. They were sending their kids to colleges and private schools. They were keeping roofs over their head all by themselves. And so when I tell people this bus business changed my life forever, I mean it. It changed my life. It changed their life. There's no more what I call fired breathing bosses. No more micromanaging. Nobody, no more defending my innocence. And yes, I'm responsible for more things, but I'm already a responsible individual. And so it was nothing for me. There's lots of things I could tell you not to do, like running out and buy a new car. Don't do that. Save your money. You run out and buy more buses. Don't do that. Max that bus out. Okay. There's lots of things. There's lots of tips I can tell you. And I realize as I talk to people over the years that I actually have a lot of experience that I can share, being in business for 20 years, that I didn't, I don't know, I don't really look at it as valuable, but it's also something that I don't want to take to my grave. The unfortunate side is when I'm working, just like my mentor, I don't have time to explain things in detail, right? So when people come up to me and they say, Beat, I want to put a bus on the road. I want to do a Vegas bus. I want to do a jail run. I want to do, some charter trips over the road. I want to do this or that. I only have time to give them so much information. And then COVID came. And during COVID, I realized now is my time to tell my story. Now's the time to offer this information to people that want to do what I've done. so that I don't take it to my grave. I can share this with other people and they can benefit in the ways that I've seen people benefit and then the ways that I've benefited, right? So I took my time during COVID. It took me 5 months of working like 8 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. I mean, this was a really big job for me. But I wanted to put this together for you in a way that's digestible so that you can, this can walk you smoothly through the launch of your very own bus company. It's the support, it's the mentorship that I wish I had when I got started. Okay. And it is called the Own Your Own Bus Full Masterclass. Yes, I'm really excited about it. And excuse me, I do want to invite you to the course. This is a content dense course, meaning I'm covering a lot of things. It has 10 modules, 3 bonus modules. I'm talking about business basics and how to choose a powerful business name, basic accounting principles, goal setting, time management. I'm talking about putting together a solid business plan, how to define your target market, who it is that you should be looking to work with, your website online presence. I built my own website myself. I am the first small bus company in the Southern California area to have a website. That's right. And I built it myself. And it was extremely user-friendly, phenomenal. That first version of it was amazing. I'll talk more about securing capital, what type of investors you might look to secure capital from, different opportunities that you may have, getting paid without chasing your money. This is something I see a lot of people that are challenged with. I talk about drug and alcohol and insurance requirements and equipment options and how to find what, where to buy, how to hire the right team, and how to put everything together for your terminal safety inspection. And I also talk about, in the bonus modules, the behind the veil. It's like between you and I and the lamppost. Listen, actually, all you really need to do is this, and actually this works like this is behind the veil. Business tips and secrets. Bonus module 1. Bonus module 2 is buying and selling on eBay, Craigslist, and other online sites. And bonus module 3 is the entrepreneur mindset and the dark side of entrepreneurship. Okay, there is a dark side to it. I talk about that and how to manage some of these things. There are 3 tiers that you can choose from if you want to sign up for any of these packages. The self-driven operator is package number 1, and this is where you get the master class, the 10 module class, the bonus modules, and you'll also get the 52-page workbook. So if you're more of a self-starter, that might be a fit for you. The offering price right now is $697. There is a discount. Look in your email for the discount code. Okay, there's a discount that will take $200 off for you, but it's only for a limited time. I want to say 7 days. I think it's 7 days, and it's for 7 days. And you also have an option for a pricing plan if you want to do like a financing. Okay, there's also that too. The second one is the growth operator. This is the most popular. This gives you everything in tier 1, the bonus modules, the 10 module class, the workbook, but you're also getting full access to the Own Your Own Bus private community, which is an online group with people that are in the same boat with you. This is extremely powerful. This is extremely valuable. There's been a lot of studies around the proximity that you have towards people around you and their influence on your success. So for me, me and my colleague, when we finish that route I told you about, we go to the IHOP or to the restaurant, and we pull our laptops out, and we would sit at the table and just, hey, you got a bus on this day? I need a bus here. I need a bus here. And we would just work. We would just work together like that. And it was extremely valuable. It was extremely powerful. And when you think about it, you ever go on a diet and somebody in the house is not on a diet? You come home from a long day and there's a chocolate cake on the counter and you had a bad day, right? So your proximity around people has a huge influence on your success. This alone is extremely valuable, okay, for your full access to the Own Your Own Bus private community online. You also get 2 personalized one-on-one coaching sessions with yours truly. focused on business goals, obstacles, and strategy. And you get the full course downloads. Now, I have a lot of downloads that will help save you a lot of time. Sample maintenance schedules, DVIRs, sample business plans. I have profit and loss examples, several of those, to give you an idea on how much you can make and how you can position yourself. There are several examples in those downloads. You get access to the full course downloads. And the last tier is what I call a VIP fast track. That's for people that want to go now. They want to get there now. They want to get this over with and get on with their lives. So for the VIP, you get everything in tier 1 and tier 2, plus 2 additional private one-on-one coaching sessions with yours truly. You get private advisory access. This is a good one right here. This is when you can reach out to me directly and I'll, shoot me a quick question. If you have something that you're thinking about doing, you can shoot me a question. I'll respond within 48 hours. This is very valuable. Also, the personalized business or asset review. This comes in the VIP only. If you're thinking about, I was thinking about buying this. Let's see right now, electric buses are in. I was thinking about buying this Proterra, but there is a BYD for sale, or there's another diesel bus. Which one do you think would be the best option for me? That's where I get to go over what you're looking at and coach you through that. That's very powerful too. I also offer a customized startup or growth roadmap. This is all about access here on this VIP, where I tailor a plan, put it together according to your timeline and resources, set some goals so that you know what to work on next. And of course, you get lifetime access to the course and updates too. Okay, it's a very valuable resource for you. I put this together again so I don't take this stuff to my grave. I want to help people get to where I, do the things that I did. It was life-changing, it was life-changing for me. Now that, as I say, I swallowed the pill of the entrepreneur, I'll never be the same again. And so I want to share that with you. I want to share the opportunity with you. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed this content. I would love to see you in the VIP or the growth operator, but if you want to do self-driven, that's absolutely fine. And check out those offerings. You should see a link here that'll take you right over there. And hopefully we'll be in touch soon. I'm your host, B. Miles, your coach and your guide. All right.